From Studio A in Texas, it's hour number 2 of the All Things Automotive Car Talk Show in real time. Just ahead, summer automotive things to do. We continue our discussion. That'll get the kids involved and get you out of the house. Texas Short Track Racing Series opens tonight at Houston Motorsports Park, and Gina Shile-Knowles is going to join us to find out whether or not it's going to go or no go because of the weather. In our new car showroom is the all-new for 2021 Kia Celtos. Mike is going to take you for a ride on that. And later, our Jeep Trails feature, plus the stories making automotive news this week. All that and more just ahead on the In Wheel Time Car Show. Thanks for joining us. We appreciate it. We've been having a good time, and we've got another hour of this to go. Are we gonna be able to get through this? Well, while we're waiting for Gina, let's do some of the. I'm sorry, you going to say something?
Well, I think there may be. I was trying to get your attention. There may be some confusion. Gina may not be showing up till 11:30. We did some swapping, and since she's not here at 11, I'm thinking that she's thinking it's 11:30. So I was going to see if maybe Joseph could join us now.
Well, you're asking me?
Well,
is he ready?
No, we're asking Joseph. I just sent him a Facebook.
I was just letting you know what we were doing over here.
Okay.
And we'll get him to join us on
All right.
Zoom.
Well, we like showing our underpants here on the In Wheel Time Show, and we're sorry about that. But,
you're not wearing any today, so stay seated.
Do I ever? So while we're waiting for all this to sort itself out, I thought that you would be interested to note, if you didn't know this already, Tesla is zeroing in on an area in southeast Austin for the electric car maker's second U.S. auto factory as Elon Musk prepares to choose a site for production base of the new pickup truck.
He's bailing out of California, and you watch. He's going to leave.
Yep.
He is going to leave.
You know, I did not know that factory that he has in Fremont, I think it is.
The old NUMMI plant.
Yeah.
The joint plant between Toyota and
I didn't realize that.
General Motors.
It was not a built for Tesla plant. It was retrofitted. Anyway, Tesla has filed an application with the Austin Area School District in Travis County seeking a tax abatement according to publicly filed documents. Musk announced in March the Silicon Valley-based automaker has begun scouting for sites to produce its Cybertruck, which is still in development. The 4 to 5 million square foot plant would employ 5,000 workers and become Tesla's fourth for vehicle assembly. So I thought that that was worthy of a news story. What do you think?
Yep.
So let's move on to Ford, shall we?
Oh, I'm going to see what you're going to say. I've got one on Ford as well.
God, this is so good. Ford Motor Company is postponing the reveal of its Bronco SUV by 4 days.
Why?
Amid concerns that its previous unveiling coincided with the birthday of O.J. Simpson.
and hopefully they'll show a white Bronco in the ad.
Oh, my God. In 1994, Simpson was infamously riding in a white Bronco along Los Angeles freeways being driven by his longtime friend Al Cowlings. Simpson was attempting to flee police as he faced charges of murdering his ex-wife and her friend. O.J.'s birthday, July 9th, happened to be the Bronco's planned reveal date.
That's a bad sense of humor. Somebody had to know that.
Or not. The date is now
some 22-year-old kid he's not thinking about that.
That date has now been moved to July 13th. The automaker was adamant the July 9th date was purely coincidental.
Yeah, right.
Oh, sure.
You know, this is the anniversary of the O.J. Al Cowan's drive down the 405 as well. This week is, 93 when it happened? So this is the week.
So while we're in the Ford vein, I've got a couple of more Ford stories. Do we have anybody on the line yet?
Well, we're getting visually. We're just trying to get all the audio synced up.
Okay, so Ford Motor Company next week will show the next generation of its new F-150 that offers a new sleeper seat feature and over-the-air software updates. The new F-150 accounts for $50 billion in annual revenue at Ford and a significant share of Ford's annual profit. While Tesla and GM have moved faster on over-the-air software upgrades and high-speed in-vehicle data networks, the new F-150 will bring such technology squarely into the mainstream.
Mm-hmm.
So there's that. Okay.
Ford connected charge station wall unit is now available at dealerships for their full EV cars, and they're actually going to connect with Amazon Home Services to get the installations done.
Talk about distracted driving. Here, I need a new pair of shoes while I'm doing 70 down the freeway. Oh, I like that pair. That Ferragamos look really good. Even as Ford expands the Mustang brand with an electric crossover, it's doubling down on its gasoline power heritage by resurrecting one of the most popular badges from the golden era of pony cars. 2021 Mustang Mach-1, slated to go on sale next spring in a limited edition run, is meant to juice sales in the sports car market by appealing to enthusiasts with V8 power. Car will come in 8 colors, including an exclusive fighter jet gray, design cues from the Mach-1, blah, blah, blah. Engine, 480 horsepower, 420 pound-feet of torque. 6-speed manual transmission is standard, although Ford will offer a 10-speed automatic.
Yeah, some of our friends from the Northside Mustang Club were at the reveal this week for the new Mach-1.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. You weren't invited?
Joseph is ready.
Oh, okay. Well, then since I don't have that sheet I do have that sheet of paper, actually.
Well, get your sheet together.
I'm trying to get my sheet together, but you're just pressuring me to do all of this stuff.
So much pressure.
He's with the Houston Car Meets and Cruisers, and his name is Joseph Pledger. Joseph, hey, a good Saturday morning to you, sir. It's good to see you.
Morning to y'all too.
Thank you so much. Yeah, thank you so much for joining us. So tell me what Houston Car Meets and Cruisers is.
It's Houston Car Meets and Cruises, and it's a Facebook page. As I've found that a majority of the Houston area events, that's where they get created, and where I've, over the last almost 5 years, have been following the car culture of Houston. And so I track all of the Houston area car, truck, motorcycle events, car shows that go around.
Wow. Well, that's quite a deal, because there's probably 100 of them scheduled for today and tonight and tomorrow.
Yeah, there's average probably about 40 events per week. Last year alone, I tracked over, I think, 2,600 events.
Oh my God.
And he keeps a running Joseph keeps a running number on it. His page is what I use for our events information.
Now we know your secret.
Well, but it is a wonderful clearinghouse of information, and people send him information to put up. But he also has a lot of connections with folks that are running meets all the time. It is by far, and there's a couple others out there, hands down the best informational Facebook page about what's going on.
How did you two meet?
I just ran across the site searching for meets in Houston.
Wow. Aren't you glad that you found us?
I am, actually. Yeah. Conrad's a great help on the page, always helping me find meets. He sends me a lot of great information, as well as all the Houston area clubs that I've followed and met various owners and contributors. And, there's been issues within the Houston area in regards to car events. And so the great thing about Houston Car Meets and Cruises is that I do a lot of vetting of who joins the page. We have a little over 5,600 Houstonians.
Oh my!
So
I snuck in.
Actually live in Houston or in the greater Houston area. It's everything from Huntsville, north to Huntsville, to Beaumont, south to Angleton, and west to Sealy. So I'm covering a very broad range because, again, Houston's big. We have a really big car culture, and a lot of times we get people coming from all over Texas just to come to Houston.
Yeah, well, we know that. As a matter of fact, the Lone Star Throwdown is one event that happens in February, I believe it is, and that is an event that draws trucks mainly from all over North America.
Correct.
Yeah. And so have you connected up with any of your peers that do this sort of thing where they collect information in, like, for instance, Dallas or San Antonio or Austin?
There's a lot of other pages that are very broad in their approach to the car scene. I know Texas Show Promoters, they promote shows all over Texas, as long as the event's in Texas. They're what I found when I started Houston Car Meets and Cruises is that we didn't really have anything that was specific to Houston.
Right.
And it was difficult to find the events on these pages. I mean, unless you feel like you want to, buy 15 different types of wheel repair, batteries, or something else. Houston Car Meets and Cruises is truly only about the events,
right,
and the people.
And so, Joseph does a wonderful job of keeping the Facebook page what I call clean. It's purely about events and cruises, and kind of so all of the other conversation doesn't happen on that site, and I think that's a great thing. But one of the new things that as far as events and cruises going on are these birthday events, and I know you've kind of started putting those on the site as well. The what I call the drive-by birthday events since COVID's happened.
Oh yeah.
And there's always 2 or 3 of them up every week, sometimes even more than that. So
now that would be a great way to cruise, and I never thought about that. You don't have to know the person that is the birthday boy or girl, but you just join up the birthday celebration drive-by.
And then Joseph, he'll post up where the staging happens, and then what time the drive-by is going to be, and it really is just kind of driving by somebody's house. And
but it gets you out of the house. It gives you something to do as well.
Somebody else is going to get something out of it.
And it brings joy to, in a lot of cases, it's a young kid kind of getting them engaged in the car scene as well. So
yeah.
So how many of those do you post up, Joseph, a week right now?
Right now, it's probably averaging 2 to 3 a week. So when we had a lot more of the lockdown, we were seeing 5 to 10 birthday cruises. We've even had some graduation cruises for older kids, just 18th birthdays, and they want to see cars. I actually arranged one for my friend Eric Allen, who is the president of the Crew on Deck group, and his daughter was having an 8th birthday. So we had about 50 to 60 cars show up, as I came from Spring all the way to West Houston. So people are willing to travel, to get out of the house, to have that moment of normalcy,
Well, I have to share with you something I don't think I told you guys. We went down and to see a graduation. It was a drive-by graduation for Ball High School in Galveston, and because they couldn't all graduate together, what they did was they lined up all the parents' cars with the kids in the car.
Great
and
idea.
They did a cruise down Seawall Boulevard with the confetti and all that stuff.
Oh yeah.
People were all 6 feet apart, but it was great. It was wonderful, and what a great idea that is, the cruise. I'd never thought about that, but
no, I'd like that.
Yeah.
So again, to join Joseph's page, you have to ask permission, and then I don't know what the background of what he looks at on you.
What is it that you look at? My arrest record? Because if that's the case, I don't think that it's going to happen. But whatever.
Well, we ask 3 simple questions. First of all, do you live in the Houston area? And many people, this is public information, so. I look, what does their Facebook profile say, and how do they answer? Of course, we're talking about a wide variety of answers from Santa Fe, San Leon. So typically having to look up some of those smaller cities, but also that, with what's been happening in the car scene with takeovers, it's
bad behavior.
something I don't promote, and I don't want those people. I mean, I get it. It's something that happens, but it doesn't have to be something where I invite those people to the events that I promote. These are family-friendly events that I promote, and there's a lot of them. And the last thing we want is somebody to get hurt.
Right.
So I have the rules on the page. We don't we don't allow selling of any kind. I don't have sponsors. I do this because I love the car community. So I just want them to agree that that's what this page is for, and that there's a time and place for everything.
Yeah.
Finally, I want to make sure they read the rules. And so I have a join code in the group description. And if they enter that, I know that they've read the rules, or at the very least, maybe they just scrolled to the bottom. I don't know. But at the very, like I said,
they had the opportunity.
They're doing their part. Yeah. Yeah. They had the opportunity, and it's a one shot and you're done. I mean, I don't play games. Most people on the page are great. It's developed into a great community, and the hosts. I mean, I just track the events. The hosts really deserve the shout out because they're the ones putting on these events, paying money, working time and dedication to get the venues. And we hate to see those venues go. It's been a problem in the Houston area for a while.
And you promote good behavior at shows as well, because I know I've seen more than once a post about behavior at a car show, and here's what you should
I think
follow.
the worst thing that I ever did back in my high school, was it high school, junior high, right when I first got, was one of those intersection fire drills. Where everybody gets out of the car. You park the car in the middle of the intersection, get out, and everybody runs around it, gets back in the car, and then they drive off. That's the worst thing that I ever did.
But I know car show etiquette is definitely something that's missing, and that we need to promote.
Exactly. And I know on your page you've got a couple of Father's Day cruises that are going on tomorrow as well. So if people want to get out there, jump on the page and ask permission and go in and check out and see what's there.
Yeah, so it's Houston Car Meets and Cruises.
Yes, sir.
On Facebook.
Yep. Joseph, it's great to talk to you, to meet you. You'll be getting a request sometime this weekend from me, so just ignore it, okay?
You're not already on the page? What?
I've sent him the invite about 7 or 8 times.
We taught him last week how to turn his computer on, so he'll be there.
Well, I'm a little bit slow on the uptake. Great to talk to you. Great to meet you, and we hope to see you again soon.
Thanks, Joseph.
Nice.
So, Houston Car Meets and Cruises. Okay, time now for Jeep Trails. No, is it?
Nope.
See, I'm all screwed up, and the reason being is because somebody
need
screwed
a break.
up.
No, it's because you clipped the paper on the back of your car review.
No, it isn't, because we had a different guest than was scheduled. So,
okay.
That's where that.
All right, so we ought to be doing the new car showroom. How's that?
I got that, but I think that we need to take a break first, and then we're going to do the new car showroom with the Kia Celtos. So stay with us.
Okay.
Man, I love my kids so much. I once sat for 3 hours in the cold rain to watch her soccer team lose by 18 goals.
I love my kids so much, I once used a tube to suck snot out of her stuffed nose at 3 a.m.
You win.
Love your kids? Love them enough to make sure they're in the right car seat. From toddlers to tweens, visit nhtsa.gov/the right seat to find the right seat for their age and size. Keep them safe. Visit nhtsa.gov/the right seat. Brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
A social distancing tip.
While the CDC urges you to avoid close contact, like hugging or shaking hands, there are other non-physical ways to say hello. Wave, wink, use sign language, salute, smile, give the peace sign, throw up an air high five, do jazz hands. Remember, stay a minimum of 6 feet or 2 arms length away from others, and stay home if you can. For more info, visit coronavirus.gov.
Let's all do our part, because we're all #alone together. Brought to you by the Ad Council.
Hey, a reminder that the In Wheel Time Car Show streams live on Facebook.com, In Wheel Time, on YouTube, and our website, InWheelTime.com. Podcasts available on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher Radio, iHeart Podcasts, Google Podcast, and Podcast Addict. And I'm sure if there's a dozen more, we probably could figure that out too. A time for a Kia Celtos review in the new car showroom. Mr. Mars has that.
Yes, sir. We're talking about the 20 a IVT. Now, this is what is called an intelligence variable transmission. Now, this is kind of like a CVT, but it mimics traditional automatic transmissions. So it gives you a little more of what you might be a little more comfortable as far as a transmission feel goes, and it shifts. That's what it does. Now, the EPA says you should be looking for 27 miles per gallon in the city, 31 out on the highway, and 29 miles per gallon combined. Now, for the week that I had it, I got around 27 and a half, but we were around town most of the time. Comes in 3 drive modes. You can choose between a normal, a smart, and a sport. Now, again, this is a small vehicle, but it's got a very spry feeling when you're driving it around, particularly around in the city. But it also easily moves into freeway traffic because it's got enough power because of the size of the vehicle to do that. It would be interesting to drive one of the turbos and see just exactly what they would do with a 7-speed dual-clutch transmission, but that's another vehicle for another time. If you're looking for something to compare it to, you might look at the Hyundai Kona starting at $20,300, or even the Nissan Rogue, which is a new one out, at $23,240 for a starting price. But you can get a base Celtos for $23,240 with a lot of nice stuff that comes standard on it. Or you can step up to the EX in the all-wheel drive version that we are driving for a base price of $25,290. Now, the MSRP as tested for this particular vehicle is $26,885, and I would be remiss if I didn't remind you that it comes with a 10-year, 100,000-mile warranty on this vehicle. So there's a lot of warranty there for a lot of these features if you're looking for a small, compact SUV in an all-wheel drive package. Yes, sir.
Okay.
And that's my review of the new 2021 Celtos.
Very good. Thank you, sir. We've got more of the In Wheel Time show right after this.
Are you ready for NASCAR, Houston? NASCAR's Short Track Racing Series is coming to Houston Motorsports Park this Saturday night as Advance Auto Parts presents Back to the Track 2020. The Texas Short Track Racers are going to light up the pavement, and you can be there to see all the action up close and personal. And how does $1 beers, Cokes, and hot dogs sound? We're following all CDC guidelines, and we have extra sanitizing options on hand. Don't miss the NASCAR action this Saturday night. Visit NASCARHouston.com for details.
911, what's your emergency?
God, there's a train that just hit a car.
Sir, what is your location? Look around for a street sign, sir.
It's 8th and Orchard. 8th and Orchard.
Okay, very good. 8th and Orchard. Sir, help is on the way.
Why would he do that? The train still hasn't stopped. You have to get there now.
At a railway crossing, even if the engineer sees you and hits the brakes, it can take a mile for the train to stop. And for you, that's too late. Stop. Trains can't. Paid for by NHTSA.
It's the In Wheel Time show coming to you live right now, anyway, this Saturday. We're live every Saturday, as a matter of fact, from 10 a.m. until noon Central Time. And we thank you for joining us. We also, somehow, some way, it magically reappears on Facebook and YouTube. I don't know how all that happens. Mars can fill you in, but you'll have to call him.
He doesn't know. He doesn't know either.
I'll make something up.
He's going to fudge it. Somehow, some way, it all happens. But live 10 to noon Saturdays, right here wherever you're watching us. And don't forget the podcast too.
Mm-hmm. So you can break it up while you're driving in the car to 30-minute segments and kind of listen to us laugh and giggle and have a good time and tell you what's going on.
Going to have some news next week about that too, about our podcast.
Uh-oh. Got something special happening.
Yeah, I'm going to share something next week.
You can't do that to me.
That's the tease.
Yes, I can because I just did it.
God. All right, so moving on, let's do the car calendar and the racing calendar. And right up front is the racing calendar because tonight is the night we
Texas
hope.
Short Track Asphalt Series.
Texas Short Track Racing
Series. Texas. Yeah, I'm sorry. Forgive me.
It's okay.
Houston Motorsports Park, which is Beltway 8 and North Houston Parkway and turn
up there,
east.
Yeah, it's out there right to the south end of Lake Houston. Mm-hmm. And great facility, easy to get to off of 99.
Right.
Yeah.
Easy getting in, easy getting out.
Yeah.
They do a wonderful job. There's going to be, weather permitting, and it looks like the weather's going to be permitting. There'll be a great turnout tonight.
Well, let's hope that the weather permits. Gina's going to supposedly join us here in just a few minutes, so we'll try to get an update from her.
And then 4th of July, lots of other racing is coming back finally. So IndyCars is going to be running the Grand Prix of Indianapolis.
But there's nobody in the stands.
I know.
That
it's about. I think a lot of this is about TV revenue generation.
That's it. How much money they've lost.
Right.
Follow the money.
So this is where they run the old Formula One course at Indy. So they kind of run around backwards and through the
Is it
infield.
the Indy cars?
It's the Indy cars, but it's a road course set up at Indy, which is what they did with F1 back in the day. And then so Formula One starts July 4th, and that's going to be the Red Bull Ring in Austria. And then the following weekend.
Wait a minute, the Red Bull Ring.
Mm-hmm.
What is that?
Well, it's the name of the track. The Red Bull, the Austria Ring.
It's not the Nürburgring.
No. But a lot of those tracks over in Europe have ring in the name, like ring. Avon calling. So,
Ring-a-ding-ding.
but this is that specific track, and it's actually owned by Red Bull, the same team, the same company that.
It's not sponsored, but owned.
Right. That track is owned by Red Bull, and they also own a Formula One team. You talk about some big money. NASCAR tomorrow is running at Talladega Superspeedway. The following weekend is going to be Pocono, and they are beginning to let fans in the stands at NASCAR. IMSA opens up its series next week, or July 4th weekend at Daytona. It's not opening. They started back in February, but everything's been closed. Indianapolis at Lucas Oil Raceway on July 12th is the return of NHRA as they go into trying to fill up the schedule of what they had to do. And then Houston SCCA is going to be down at Gulf Greyhound Park. They're down there this morning, but they're going to be back down there again in July.
But they're not racing on the dog track. They're racing in the parking lot.
They're racing in the park. They put cones up, and it's timed racing.
Wouldn't you just love to have a little go-kart on that dog track and have that thing sideways around that dog track?
Yeah.
Well, I'd rather it be on a smaller
Drifting.
track. That dog track might be a little bit big.
No, it's not. That dog track would,
it'd be a hoot. It'd be a hoot.
Yeah.
So, and then, events coming. Kima Cruise is every night. July 26th, we talked to Troy about the Twin Peaks meet. Autos still isn't up and running. Nifty 50s is.
Well, we don't want to talk what's not right.
I know.
So,
but other stuff, if you go pay attention to Joseph Pledger's
just going to
page,
say, Go to Joseph's
you can
page.
find all of it.
Hey, a reminder that if you're a member of a car, truck, or Jeep club, you can put your group in our car club spotlight. Just email the club's information and contact name and number, and we'll take it from there. Email address is info@inwheeltime.com. We're back after a quick break.
It's 4 a.m., Monday, and you're literally sucking baby snot through a tube because she's congested. Man, that's love. And if you love her that much, love her enough to make sure she's buckled in the right car seat. To make sure your child's in the right seat for their age and size, visit nhtsa.gov/the right seat. Show them you love them. Keep them safe. Visit nhtsa.gov/the right seat. Brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
Is your business or company looking to stand out in a crowded advertising market? Looking to reach the real auto enthusiast? Well, you found it. You're listening or watching In Wheel Time, and so are your fellow enthusiasts. The In Wheel Time Car Show now reaches 500,000, and we can put together a marketing plan that will engage them in your product, business, or service. To get the tires rolling, just shoot us an email to our marketing director, Jeff Zekin. His address is jeff@inwheeltime.com.